Hi guys, welcome to Miss Well Energetic. My name is Brianne Gittins. I'm the founder and the host of the Miss Well Energetic Network. By the title of this video, I think you know what we're talking about. We're talking about how to do the work. The work. None of us like the work. It's painful, it's hard, it's difficult, it's painful. Like, there's so many words to describe the work. But the work is how you become an adult, succeed, build, and have everything you ever needed and become financially stable and live your best life. Yeah, that's a lot. That's really a lot. So how to do the work is so difficult today, I think, because of the economy, the world we live in. There's so many issues that are affecting us, our generation, and being a millennial, and my brother's a Gen Z, and I see there's so many changes in today's society. Some are good, some are bad, some of them are affecting us as an adult. And doing the work is so essential. And we're going to talk about how to do the work. What is the work? The work is pretty much every day. It could be your career. That is a big work. It could be your personal life. It could be buying a home, or it could be, there's so many works, like buying a car. It could be traveling. It could be saving money. It could be investing. There's so many work that you can do. So let's get into how to do the work. Okay, number one is reflecting. I'm breaking it down to 3 sections: reflecting, framework, executing your goals. So let's start with reflecting. Reflecting starts with brainstorming. Brainstorming is something you have to do alone. It's something you have to really sit with yourself. It doesn't happen in one day. It takes time to really brainstorm, because brainstorming is a collective of ideas, and more ideas you have, good or bad, write them down, because ideas can form into new ideas, and it's a process. The first things that you have are good. The second time it's bad. It gets worse and worse, and then you could add some of the old stuff, and then you might have a breakthrough, and then the idea you have is meant to be, and you want to work on that goal, and you want to make that your priority. So reflect alone. Don't do it with people, because people don't. This is a solo journey. People's opinion will affect you. But if you do it alone and you're sitting by yourself and you're thinking about, what do I need? What's my future look like? What's my financial future look like? How does this economy affect me? How do I rearrange my lifestyle? How do I get this done? Those are the questions we're always asking ourselves. And reflecting, it will always be a personal journey and a solo one. The next step would be to talk things out loud. I think talking out loud really helps. To yourself, or maybe you could talk to a friend or maybe a family member. Just talk it out loud. I want to make this happen for myself. I want to make at least $4,000 a month. I want to sell my equipment. I want to get into freelance. I want to do all the stuff. Those are kind of examples that I have at the moment for you guys. There are so many ways you could talk it out. So talk it out. Just talk it out to the universe, because the universe is listening. It's always recording. It's always documenting, and you're doing the same thing. Write down your ideas in a book. I think becoming adults, I always write my ideas in a book, because I need my ideas there. I can't remember everything. You could always go to your iPhone if you have an iPhone. You could put in maps I don't know about Androids. They probably have apps. I said apps. I meant notes. You can put in your app notes. You can put in your notes and you can write everything down when inspiration hits. That's what I do. When I have inspiration, I go on my phone. I have it right here. My old phone is gone, so I'm using iPhone 8 right now. So I go on my phone. I go to my apps. I meant my notes. Sorry, my notes. I keep calling it apps. It's interesting. Here's my notes. And I write my ideas down because I need to remember my ideas. And sometimes I have breakthroughs through these ideas. And having a breakthrough is the best thing because sometimes you could be in deadlock with your life and you don't know where you're going. And doing the work is a process. It's a journey. It's a continuous journey. I think it doesn't stop until you are gone. You got to continue to do the work and do the work and do the work. And having those ideas documented is everything. Get out of your surroundings is so important when you're reflecting. I feel like I reflect in my bedroom. Sometimes I drown in my bedroom. I'm physically, mentally drowning in my bedroom. Because it's my favorite space in the world, but sometimes it can be suffocating. So this is my bedroom right now. So sometimes when I need to get out of my bedroom, I get out of my bedroom. I go into nature. Nature is so renewing. I drink water out of my Stanley. And I just go out. I was in a little water break when I had her out. Yeah, so get out there. Go outside. Go to a cafe. Go get some food and write it down. Do a table for one. Take yourself out. You know, your surroundings do affect your mood and your environment. Your environment needs to be positive. You need to be inspired to reflect. Okay, next section is framework. The framework is the foundation. And a foundation has to be built one by one by one by one to get to whatever you're trying to build. So figure out what you need. I feel like what you need and what you want are two different things. And what you need is this. But you don't really want this, but you know you need this to get to where you need to go. So figure that out, you know, sit with yourself and figure out, like, what do you need? Need it and want is nice. I want a lot of things, but want is a privilege. And if you don't have that privilege, you really have to focus on your needs. What do I need? You could always get that privilege one day, but doing the work is the only way you get that privilege. You want that flexibility, you want more time to yourself. You have to do the work to get it. So figure out what you need. The need is everything, and when you figure that out, you know. Okay, next is letting go of the past. I feel like the past is something that always comes up. Something we always rehash. It's always there. The past. Why is the past always there? So why is it there, like, affecting us? It does affect us. Past mistakes. I'm like, oh God, I remember that mistake I made. Oh my God, we're always rehashing it. And I'm like, sometimes you just have to go of the past, because the past doesn't serve you. It's already written. It can't be rewritten. It can't be undone. It's just written. The past is done. And you have to let it behind you. You can't take it with you. Sometimes you gotta cut it off. Be like, today's that day, I'll talk about it. Next day, I'm done. I'm not talking about it. I'm letting it go because I gotta move on. Moving on, moving forward, it's everything. Focus what's important is the next one I want to get into. I feel like what's important is so essential. Like, what's important to you is so different to what's important to me and what's important to the next person. So you gotta figure out what's important, because you can't do everything. And when it comes to energy, your energy only goes one place. I've learned. My personal preference is like, I know that my energy goes one place. I can't give my energy to multiple things. My energy goes to one place. I want to do 80 things. Maybe, not 80 things. I love to do 80 things. I love starting shit up and doing things, but like I've known like I I want to do I want to do 4 things. And I'm learning to put my energy where it goes. And I'm trying to put time, trying to do things part-time. Do like 3 hours, 2 hours, an hour a day of my stuff and see how that builds up. You know? What's important to you is really going to start with discipline. You have to self-discipline yourself. Self-discipline is you putting yourself on a pedestal and also holding yourself accountable. Because if you don't do what you have to do, it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen for you, you're suffering. So your energy is everything. And you have to choose where you want to put your energy into. And you have to make the hard decisions on creating that lifestyle that will get you to where you want to go. Okay. Our last one for the framework is create a detailed plan. I feel like plans go up in the air and they go down in the air. Like they go up, down. Plans are important to have. Even though you may not stick to the whole plan, you may have to use redirection, which is your best friend. You should use redirection as a way to complete your plans. Redirection is technically when you hit a setback and you need to change it. And you need to adapt to it very quickly and it not affect your mood or what's going on. Redirection's a friend and you should continue to use redirection. So when it comes to creating a detailed plan, a plan should be outlined. It really should be. It should be in steps. There should be steps. It should be crazy. I think you should go through 3 drafts before you get to your final draft. I go through multiple drafts. I change things up because what I need versus what I don't need has changed. It's continuing to change and everything is changing constantly. So I'm figuring out what I need versus what I don't need during that process. And then my detailed plan has everything I need in it. So I have that foundation to start up and I feel motivated to go. Technically, the plan is literally just to have the information you need to visualize it and to keep you on track. So these plans are crazy. I find great plans. It's crazy to have a plan. Like when it comes to you doing the work, I think it's like it's daunting sometimes, and you're like, oh my god, I have to complete this. There's so much stuff I have to complete, and doing the work isn't easy. And I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, it's like sunshine and rainbows. I'm like, I think in today's economy, the planning is essential, and it's difficult. And when you have a plan, it's always good to see it because you can visualize it. You can make it happen for yourself. And I love having a detailed plan out for myself. I have plans I have goals, and I have goals. I like. How do I explain this to you guys? Okay, so I have like intentions. I have goals. I'm trying to set yearly focuses that I work on for the year. I feel like for me, personally, it takes me a long time to achieve things. Based on my circumstances, based on the economy, based on how things are rolling. But plans are good to have. Always write things down. Use redirection and complete your foundation. You know, the foundation needs maintenance. And that's what kind of a plan is now. A plan is maintenance. It's doing maintenance work. Because you are a business. I'm a business. I really gotta take care of myself. I really gotta do the maintenance. Hygiene's maintenance. Careers maintenance. Avoiding burnout is maintenance to me. Like, self-care is maintenance. You know, there's so much stuff to it. So planning is an ongoing process, but be specific in everything you do. Be detail oriented and have everything written out so you could see it. Maybe post it in your bedroom so you could see it every day. Because if you see it, your mind does something to it. You're like, when I see numbers, I'm like, my angel numbers are coming in, and I'm like, that's where I need to go. The next section is executing your goals. I make a lot of goals, and executing goals is never the easiest thing to do. Goals are so general, so specific, so personal, and they're so hard to achieve. They're hard to achieve. I feel like as an adult, hitting milestones is hard, and goals require work. So let's get into this. Let's get into how to execute the goals. So these are the best ways to execute goals, and let's get into this right now. Okay, using your plans. So if you have the framework that you completed, you have all your goals, great. You have your plans, and now you're turning them into goals, I should say. Yeah, we're turning these things into goals now. Goals. So now we have goals that we need to complete. So the plan is written for us, and now we're creating goals. And the goals are so specific and detail oriented that we can complete them. So we have these goals. I'm not going to talk about more into that because goals are very personal. As long as you have them, it's good. Okay. 2 is doing the work in private. I feel like you have to do the work in private. You can't do goals in public. I'm like, the glow up is private. The glow up is not public. You can't glow up in public. I'm like, I'm going to grow up in public. I'm like, no, the work is 100% private. You do the work at home. You do the work, maybe in the library, if you're out in the cafe, maybe. I'm like, where else can you do the work? Maybe the work is getting beauty treatments. Like, there's so much work you can do, and it's in private. You know, building your goals is usually in private. You could post it on social media, but no one's going to know your true intentions because you're posting highlights. So continue to do the work, and doing the work means a lot. You know, it means a lot. Like, I can't even tell you how to I can't tell you how to do the work. I can give you the inspiration. That's why there's a pause there. So, always do the work in private, and you can complete it in private. And then one day, somebody will see it in public, and like that, everything was worth it. Okay, number 3 is use action as your guide. I love action. I love talking about it. I love writing about it. But action, the real action, is out there. In here. That's action. Action is taking the steps forward. And I feel like taking the steps forward is not an easy process for a lot of people. But you have to think about it as little steps. Don't get overwhelmed. I think we all get overwhelmed. We get like, I can't make this happen. I can't do this. Like, no. Little steps every day is everything. Because a lot of our goals don't happen overnight. Being an overnight success is a dream. It's a fantasy. It takes years and years of work. Action is a process. It's not something that happened in 2 minutes. You know, it's literally a process of a lot of steps. But if you're taking the actions, you're living intentionally, you have purpose, you have drive, you have motivation, that's the action. The action will help you, guide you to the end of the line. And the end of the line is the goal. The deadline. That's how you make it achievable, is the action. You have to take action. You have to take action every day, because the small steps is everything. And the last one would be, think about the results. I know it's hard to see the results, but think about the results sometimes. Think about, like, I'm doing the work and I am climbing to this. The action I've been taking is getting me closer to this. When you're at the halfway point, you're like, look how far I've come. There's so much. When I see people on like social media and they're losing weight, I'm like, whoa, this person started right here, just day one. And this person halfway through is here. And then when they get to the end, they reach their goals and they have results. There are physical results take time. They do. It's not easy. But the motivation is the work. And doing the work is an everyday thing. It's maintenance. It's work. So let's do a little takeaway, because we're done with this. I hope you guys really liked it, because doing the work is very open. Because doing the work can mean a million things. So this is just my perspective on this, my opinion on this. But I becoming an adult, I really get into doing the work. And I'm like, every year is harder as an adult. It doesn't get easier as an adult. Life does not get easier. As an adult, you continue to do the work, and that kind of makes life a little bit more easier. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.